Today on the third episode of BNE with FreezRokSki, we have an amazing woman, a business coach, tax pro, and all-around awesome woman, MissPromise from the Biz Besties.
Thank you. That's an amazing intro.
Welcome. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Biz Besties.
Okay, so Bizness Besties started in 2021. I had launched a activewear line. So I started my clothing line and it didn't blow up really how I thought it would. So
What was the name of it?
Promise Fit.
Promise Fit.
Yes,
okay.
Promise Fits. And when I didn't get the support I wanted, I realized I really needed community. So that birthed Bizness Besties, and I turned it into a nonprofit because I didn't want to feel like I was selling people. You know, I didn't want to sell you anything. It was really just leveraging the relationships that we could build. So if we're all in different areas of business and we come together as a team, it makes it to where now that's a powerhouse we created. And it started off with 10 of us, then got to 20. And by the time we were at 100 women, I decided it would be best to be a nonprofit. I organized a way for me to make recurring revenue. So I established a membership. And 3 years later, now I have Billionaire Besties, which is our elite community of established business owners, mentors, influencers. So now we have a 3-tier community from startup to the elites.
And how many people do you have in Biz Besties?
We're now at a couple thousand because
wow.
I also have a chapter in Los Angeles, a chapter in Portland, chapter in Phoenix, and we're in the Virgin Islands, so we're nationwide.
Oh, dope. Virgin Islands, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Where did you grow up, Promise?
I grew up in California, in San Bernardino, and I feel like that's where I developed the sense of community, where I understood how valuable it was. My mom worked a lot, so my neighbors from across the street, down the street, they all watched me. So it depends, whoever was home.
Community.
Right. It was a lot of community. So I hate to see it now where mothers have such a hard time getting support for them to grow their business or really just have access to resources. So in California, it was just a lot more community than I've seen here in Vegas. So I really wanted to recreate that.
I think you're doing a great job so far.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job. So what did you want to be when you grew up?
You know, that's crazy you asked that. I never knew what I wanted to be. Because I used to say lawyer because it sounded cool, right? Like, I'm be a lawyer. I feel like I was real defensive sometimes. So I'm like, I could argue my way out of anything. I might as well be a lawyer. But the school system just didn't work for me. You know, I realized I was dyslexic. So when I didn't have teachers that catered to that, made it that much more frustrating to want to learn, right? So I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I positioned myself when I went to college, and I don't know how I went to college, you know, but again, going back to the school system, is I feel like they just push you. They let you go, even if you're not ready, they let you go. So in college, still didn't know what I wanted to do. I took psychology, business management, and accounting, because I'm like, whatever field I'm in, I can leverage these tools, right? If I'm in business, now I know how to manage. If I'm in accounting, you know, now I could, if I'm a cashier, I could be the top cashier, you know? So it's just like whatever I wanted to do, I can use those skills. And psychology, I want to say, was the most essential course that I could have taken. And
what did it do for you?
It really helped me grow an understanding for people. And I feel like, you know, we said it off camera, but I feel like psychology should be a high school course. Once you have an understanding for people, you're less quick to judge. You give everyone grace because you understand we're carrying trauma from our childhood. We're carrying, you know, just the past with us. So offering everybody grace just as much as we would want that grace is all about just having an understanding for people.
You mentioned dyslexia. Mm-hmm. What would you say to inspire kids coming up in school that have dyslexia? What could you tell them that helped you get through it?
What really helped me get through, it sounds cliche, but it was affirmations. So it's every time I was put in a position to where I'm like, dang, I don't know that word, or I can't do that math problem. It was just reminding myself that everyone starts somewhere. So just take my starting point and just work with it. So I had to constantly tell myself, you are smart, you are brave. So that way I wouldn't get scared. If if you're dyslexic, you know this problem, but popcorn reading. So it's like,
What does that mean?
Popcorn reading is usually when the teacher goes, it's your turn to read this paragraph.
Oh, right.
So what I would do is, just because I know my vocabulary wasn't the best, I would go through and read it until I knew every word. And then by the time it was my turn now, I got it. But it brings so much anxiety to you. So in my head, I would have to remind myself, you are smart, you are brave, you are worthy. And those are things that kept me willing to learn.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, if you've got dyslexia out there, listen to Promise and don't give up.
Don't give up. I would have never known that I would be a business coach, that I would be a tax professional.
It's amazing.
Someone with this now I can't even say that, dyslexia. I would have never known that I would be a business coach and an accountant. I'm a tax professional. So not only am I dealing with numbers, I'm doing a lot of reading.
So how'd you get into the tax thing?
My dad has a tax business. So it was kind of just like, you have to do it. It's too much money left on the table.
And you already have someone to teach you how to do it.
Right. And even though it wasn't a field that I ever aspired to be in, it was money I just couldn't leave.
Absolutely.
Couldn't leave it. And really,
everybody's got to do their taxes.
Everybody has to do their taxes. So even if you just build your clientele off your family members, if you have 10 family members that come to you every year for your taxes, that could be an easy 20 grand, right? And that's just not promoting it as a business. That's just working with your family.
Oh, wow.
Right. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I can money. I could at least make $5,000 just dealing with my immediate family every year. I know I could bank that.
That's awesome. So I want to talk about mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a mentor? Or
absolutely, I have a couple.
Yeah, can you tell us who your mentors are? And then can you also tell us if you're mentoring somebody, which I'm pretty sure you are.
Absolutely. Mentors have to have mentors. Do not get a mentor if they don't have a mentor. I'll tell you that. So I'm a firm believer in community. So I make mentors out of everyone. If I can't learn from you, most likely I won't have you in my circle. And that's just being honest. If I can't learn anything from you or take away anything from that relationship, there has to be a transfer of energy. Yes. And it all has to be positive and progressive, And for me, my mentor, Robert Twix Taylor, he
Twix.
Yeah, shout out to our councilman candidate. For me, I was inspired because he is in business, and then he is, in politics. He has a strong mission, and he's one of the very few pushing the agenda he has, So it was inspiring to me because I felt that way. Now it's a little bit different. I feel like community has grown to where more people start to see the value in community. So that my whole mission was, trying to produce that. So I got inspired by Twix.
How'd you meet Twix?
I met Twix first through a mutual friend. So once I found out about his campaign, everything he had going on, I stalked him. I'll tell you that. And for anyone looking to get a mentor and you feel like Twix's mentorship will probably be thousands of dollars. But I figured if I gave him so much value, if he's a good man, reluctantly even if he didn't want to, he would reciprocate that.
Yes.
If he's a good man. So what I did was I literally stalked him and I popped up at every event he had. And I would get content for him. I would
You were his street team.
I would fill in any place that I feel like he might see value in. And I just did it so much to where, and I pretty much just start calling him my mentor. So I'm like, you're my mentor. You're my mentor. And I stalked him so much to where, yes, it ended up manifesting itself to where he is my mentor.
Okay.
And then, like I said, I make mentors out of my colleagues.
You said you had two mentors. Who's the other one?
I want to say Coach Stormy is more of a virtual
Coach Stormy. Who is that?
So she inspired me to start Business Besties. At first, I was in a network marketing company, TLC, Total Life Changes. So we're selling products and we're able to make a commission off that. So, you know, her message was build a community, this and this and this. And I loved it. I just didn't like the idea of feeling like we had to sell. You know, I didn't want that type of network marketing community. But I loved her mission as far as, you know, you can have your past and that does not determine your future. So I loved her message about that. And then Art is considered a mentor. Just Be with Under the Hood is considered a mentor. Millionaire McCoy is considered a mentor. My girls in my community, my mentees, I feel like still shine light to areas that give me that inspiration.
As they should. Like everybody brings something to the table.
It's very essential. It's very essential. So I have a lot of mentors, but those I actually study in their work ethic. Twix, Coach Stormy, Millionaire McCoy.
Dope.
Yeah.
Now, how about a success story of someone you've mentored?
Someone I've mentored.
Yeah. I know.
And I got to pick just one? I don't want nobody coming for me.
No,
I just want to say.
There's no coming for anybody. It's
yes.
Just, you can pick more than one, or you can just pick one. And...
I have a couple of girls that I do want to highlight. I have a mentee, Mador. So she's one of the only holistic healing childcare providers.
Oh, dope.
She is the only one, actually.
Really?
She is actually the only holistic healing childcare provider. Right. Because I feel like for those of us,
Big Farm is not good.
For those of us who are in that spiritual journey, I would love for my kids to automatically have that instilled in them. But I feel like also too, if it's coming from a parent, it doesn't resonate the same. You know, I'm pretty sure your parents who gave you lifelong lessons, but you're like, yeah, I'm going to do my way. I'm going to do what I want. You know, so it's like that. I'm super proud of her because she joined in the community very closed off at first. She was very closed off. And we've been able to work together to where she's a social butterfly. She shines now. And I love that so much for her. Another one is Keisha. Keisha started with me and she launched her hair company. She launched a merch store with me.
And what are Mador and Keisha's, how can people get a hold of them?
So Mador is Melanated Rituals on Instagram and Keisha is Gemini. I'm trying to think of what the ending is. It's Gemini _.
We can put it underneath.
Tag it.
Yeah, we'll put it underneath. So check those ladies out as well.
And my Business Besties link will be in there because I make sure to spotlight my girls as much as possible. My job is to get them to, you know, a stage in their business where they are living more comfortably. So establishing passive income, you know, working on the wealth building for our businesses. So yeah.
So I know you do e-commerce and drop shipping.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that? And if someone wanted to get it, like how would they get that from you?
So I'll start from the beginning. I want to be mindful to say to the audience that these are relationships that I was able to establish through networking. So never met these guys before, went to a networking event.
Where was it, the networking event? Do you remember?
Where was it? Okay, this was a monthly networking event at Putters.
Oh, Putters. Sure.
And there's a couple, but this was the one off Henderson.
If you're not from Las Vegas, Putters are local neighborhood bars with a little bit of gambling in them.
Right. It got a good happy hour. Yeah. So it was Las Vegas Small Business Owners, is owned by Daryl and Daryl. So I went to their networking event, chopped it up with them. Really cool guys. Once they found out about the community, they're like, yo, we got some resources that you can really leverage. So of course I got right on it. We worked on Turnkey Millionaires, which is my AI CRM software.
Let's stop there for just a second. I want to hear about that.
You want to hear about that?
Yeah, let's talk about this whole thing. And what does CRM mean? Tell everybody that.
CRM is customer relations management. So this is helping to automate the relationship building with your clients and customers. So for me, it was essential because I'm building up a community and my nonprofit is free, so I'm not making a bunch of money, right? So I wanted a way to automate my delegation task to where the community builds, but I'm less hands-on. So it started off with that. They built me a software that can help simplify my task. So with that, it was post-generating. What's special about it is it has unlimited profiles. So you can create a profile for you and your several different businesses or your clients, right? So we set it up that way so it could be different from what ChatGPT is offering. So ChatGPT is doing a more it updated to where now it can remember certain things, but still not so much dedicated to where you can set up a whole profile to it. So that was really cool. It does grant assistance because as a nonprofit, I want to be able to take advantage of grants. So not only does it help you find grants, but it helps you apply to the grants. So if the AI is plugged in with that profile, now it can answer the questions of the grant specific to that profile. So which means you got a better chance of getting that grant than anything else. So when we started going through it, the software was amazing. I loved it. And then we're like, okay, so if I need it and it's, so beneficial to me, it's pretty much an all-in-one solution. How can we offer it to my community now? Because at first it was just a software to help me personally. So then we created an affiliate program to where now you can actually purchase the software, sign up, and have access to it. So it is a subscription, $97 a month. Not only is it the CRM, but it's the AI. So you have AI generating images, posts, book writer, like I said, the grant assistance, and so much more. And then paired with the CRM system that's taking care of your email marketing, SMS marketing. It builds websites, houses the websites. So it's everything you need to scale your business. And softwares like this just aren't as easily accessible to people like us, startup businesses and entrepreneurs. So one thing I love about how our CRM system is that it's paired with the AI. So it makes it completely different than everything else on the market. You can go and get a CRM system for $100 a month, but it does not come with the back end of an AI. So I love that. And like I said, this was an opportunity I networked my way to. So now I have a software to provide to my community where now they're in a position to where they can add more services to their business. They can become a grant company, a funding company if they want to, just based off of using the software.
Wow.
Social media management is really the dream for a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant, those are my targets because they would love this. It makes it to where they have more to offer and less work they have to do. So if they're already using AI, now they have the CRM system. It's really, like I said, helping to scale their business. And that's why I named it Turnkey Millionaires, because it's everything you need to literally turn the key to millions. If you can see, I manifest through my community. So I got Turnkey Millionaires, and Billionaire Besties is our drop shipping company and the elite club. So I'm calling them Billionaire Besties because I want billionaire friends. I want friendships where we're all at the top. If you're in Dubai, I could borrow your yacht that's in New York.
So it's a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes. Who wants to be the only one at the top? And
no, it sucks.
It sucks. You don't want to be the only one who can afford to take trips and afford to do certain things. So I wanted to produce an opportunity where everyone in my community has chances to earn passive income, grow their business, and get more visibility for their business. So that was just really important. With the dropshipping company, we created magic with both of these. But the drop shipping company is really special to me. It started the same with Turnkey Millionaires. At first, we created the custom drop shipping using my manufacturing, Daryl and Daryl, using their manufacturing company.
Daryl and Daryl.
Yes, yes.
I'm just going to throw this out here for the old heads. If you know what Newhart is, Daryl, and Daryl.
Mm-hmm. So those are my guys. Daryl is my technician.
Okay.
Daryl is my manufacturer.
Okay.
So and they're a good team together. So we established a custom drop shipping company for myself. And we called it Billionaire Besties. So that makes it to where my girls can get branded merch, you know, and be able to represent their brand with a bunch of different products. So that was cool. We loved it. Then we got the idea, how can we offer this same opportunity to the community? And that's where it came in, the affiliate program for Billionaire Besties. So we set it up to where we shopped around to every e-commerce platform and figured out a way to be the best. That's what we did. So we were able to establish it to where we can give you 5 products. You choose from the products we have available. It's not a super wide range of products, but it's just enough to where you can pick 5. We work together to help you customize it so your merch site can work as the low-hanging fruit for your audience. So yeah, if say you do life insurance, right? Your niche is pretty, in the box. So we make it to where now you have another stream of income and you customize your merch to bring in your target. So if you're a life insurance agent, your shirt can say, I'm building financial freedom for my family.
Sure.
Yeah. So it makes it to where your target, if they see that, they're like, dang, I am building, I do plan to build. And they'll be like, where'd you get that shirt? That's a dope shirt. Oh, okay, I got it from my life insurance agent. So now your merch is doing marketing for you. Your clients and customers, when they wear your merch, is doing all the marketing for you. So, and then now it's targeting people who are most likely to take advantage of your services. And even if they don't, you just made passive income just by selling them a shirt.
Right.
Even if they're not your target. So it kind of opens that box up more for those in a service-based business. And then those who still have other products, just making it to where, like I said, you have more to offer, giving us multiple streams of income, which is all we need. We just need a bunch of different ways for us to make money. And for influencers, I have influencers in my community who go viral often and don't have a product to sell.
Oh, so they're missing out on dollars on the table.
If you're going viral and you don't have nothing to sell to your audience, then you're solely dependent on just the monetization of social media, it works for a lot of people, but why not capitalize as much as possible?
Yeah, don't leave no
offer something, whether it's a t-shirt with your face on it, a simple quote, it really doesn't matter, but everyone should have some type of product. If you're in business or looking to become a content creator, have something you could provide to your audience. So when you go viral and it do hit 1 million views, at least half of them buy a t-shirt. That's 500,000 people buying a t-shirt.
Well, that's $10 million.
Oh, let's go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I told you I'm dyslexic. So we're gonna let you do the
It's all good.
We'll let you do the math.
It's all good. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your book club. I do my research. I wanted to come in and
You're prepared.
Yeah,
man.
I found out that you have a book club. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, it's called Under the Covers.
Under the Covers,
right?
Okay.
We like to think marketing. We want it to be catchy, but under the book covers, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Under the book covers.
Yeah,
okay,
and I feel like most people read in bed, right?
Yeah, I do.
Most people read in bed, and
I never thought about that.
It's real catchy, right?
So, that's good.
Yeah, my vice president in Portland, she runs our book club. So we have a group chat, and it's going off of a bunch of all of our topics is around personal development. Whether it's mental, in business, or emotional intelligence. My favorite book is Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Okay.
That's one of my favorites. I can't think of the author for the ones that I'm thinking of, so I'll just leave that out. But
if you think of it, what other favorite books do you have? Or actually, what's the last book that you read?
The last book I read was
It doesn't have to be a personal development, just any book, whatever you read.
Doing the Impossible, or I want to say The Impossible. But that was the last book I read, and I felt like the takeaway of that was really the stipulations we put on ourselves. So we tell ourselves, I can't do that because I'm tired, and just by you saying that is like you
program yourself.
You're saying right there, you won't, and there's no possibility, and that's exactly what you're going to get. If you say, yeah, I'm tired, but I'm going to,
I got this.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. It's those programs we tell ourselves that really, determine how our lives end up, coming out. So it's really about taking accountability, reprogramming our brain, and yeah.
What book would you recommend for someone that is trying to be an entrepreneur?
Someone looking to be an entrepreneur, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
Think Rich, Grow Rich. If you're in business, those are essential reads. Because you wanna really, for us entrepreneurs, we are doing everything in our business. We're doing the marketing, branding, everything.
We produce it all.
And that's not always our talent. Sometimes you're just a good cook. And this is my business. I know how to cook. I don't know how to do the backside of business or really get in the state of mind of dealing with your clients and customers and things you want to keep in mind when growing a business.
Think and Grow Rich that's a really great book.
Yeah.
Everybody should read that book out there. Please check it out if you haven't. Napoleon Hill's the author.
Yeah.
And it's changed everyone's lives that I know that have read it.
Absolutely. It's really hard to be in business or entrepreneurship and not take advantage of those. I just had one on the top of my head, then I forgot. Dang. But
if you think of it, tell us later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you see Bizness Besties in 1 year and in 2030?
So in a year, Bizness Besties will have a community center, and I visualize this community center having a childcare area, a computer room, co-working space, even a store to house some of the product-based businesses I have in the community. And
that's amazing.
Right. So not only, just providing that opportunity to grow their business while their kids are being taken care of. I feel like that's the main thing I hear is, it's really hard for me to grow my business because I do not have support with my child. So that's really my next plan for a year. And 2030 looks like me and my girls on yachts. It looked like eventually my plan is to have so many chapters of Bizness Besties where each month I spend time in different cities.
I love
Literally
that.
Every month
different
I have
countries.
to be in different cities, different countries, right? So that's the goal. For 2030, amazing. I see myself just traveling the world to different chapters of my community.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Since we're doing a podcast, do you have any favorite podcasts?
Do I have any favorites?
Or what podcasts do you listen to? If you listen to any.
I listen to my boy Under the Hood Studios just because they have the topic and it's a bunch of random topics. So that's always fun.
You're talking about Just? Or I see.
Just
okay.
Just Be Under the Hood podcast is called The Topic.
The Topic.
And then one of my besties, A Black Woman's Wisdom, her podcast just launched and it's perfect to gain insight to just the female experience as a Black woman. So those are two of my favorites right now.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give clouts to the ones that already got 1 million followers.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to know what you're listening to. So
those are some great ones. Go check them out.
Well, talk about some challenges with owning your own business.
Challenges, getting access to capital. That's a challenge.
Would you say that's the number one challenge?
Is it the number one? I want to say so.
It probably is,
right?
Most
problems come down to usually you don't have enough funds.
Because if you've got the funds, you can go forward with
it. Right. So I have to say it's access to capital.
Okay.
And all the problems come down to not having enough money.
Okay. And then like, what about your time when you own your own business versus like a 9 to 5? Like, what's the difference? How many days a week and how many hours a day are you working?
I'm not gonna lie, I had one job and that was like for 3 months.
Okay.
I worked at Walmart.
Okay.
It was the most,
40 hours a week?
it was a terrible experience.
Was it in San Bernardino?
No, it was here in Vegas.
Okay, here in Vegas.
Yeah, because I was an adult. It's having to ask somebody to go to the bathroom as a grown up. Like, that's terrible. I cannot. There's no way.
Teacher.
Right.
Yeah,
it makes you feel like
no.
a child.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how a 9 to 5 experience.
Sure.
But what I do know is just the freedom I have. I have more freedom than
Yes.
someone who works a 9 to 5 because I literally can run my business from the beach. You know, it's approve and deny, it's data entry. So I can travel, I can hang out with my friends. I made a little post about it just to kind of flex a little bit, but I was able to go out to the lake with friends and it was a spontaneous thing, but I was able to do my meetings, organize my content, schedule them out all while we were on the boat having a good time.
That's
so
great.
Yeah,
work while you play
and making money in my sleep.
Yeah, making money in your sleep is what we all want to do.
It's freedom. So I coach women to establish financial freedom for themselves so they have that energy to put towards their families and doing the things that they really want to do. You should be funding your mission and putting your energy behind that mission. You know, if you want to be there for children, if you want to help women, if you want to help, incarcerated or post-carceration victims or anything like that, then you should be able to put your energy towards your purpose in life and not, making other companies rich. But I do believe in everybody has to play a role, right? We need people at Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. We need people there. But those should be.
Don't have to. That doesn't just be a stepping stone. That doesn't have to be your lifelong career.
A stepping stone and careers that are for our children.
Yes.
Usually those are our kids who are 15, 16. Learning responsibility. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have people who are in college or graduating college who just can't find jobs.
I agree, but sometimes it depends on the place you're at and the area you're at, and sometimes jobs are. I mean, here in Vegas, we're pretty lucky. There's kind of a lot of jobs here, and we're growing. But
there was a major change that happened. I want to say 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but during that time, people were able to earn tips as valet, in hospitality. Now they tax tips. So here in Vegas, you're taxed for your tips. It makes it to where instead of coming home with that 100%, now you have
75
60,
or something. Yeah.
So, and they're taxing a lot. And so even industries like that who would usually make $100K a year just off of their tips had to suffer a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the guy at MGM. He used to do bellhop, and we used to work over there at this DMC company, and he was making $100,000 a year at bellhop, and the valets were making like
that was great money back then, and that was great for the city.
I mean, it's even good money now. I mean, shit.
Like, it still is. Yeah. It still is. Like, but there's a major difference.
Yeah,
major difference.
Things cost a lot more these days, so it's not as much.
So even with things like that, it would be great to say, okay, yeah, I can take this tax break because I'm building multiple streams of income for myself. So it's not all about just cutting out your job, but just making it to where you have more money. I would love to be in my career and not still feeling like I'm paying catch up. So a lot of us here are getting paid to pay our bills, and we don't have anything left over to live the life that we want or deserve. So I love that both of my affiliate programs, not only are they super cost effective, but they're actually putting my community in position for financial freedom.
So what would you say is the number one positive aspect of owning your own business?
The number one positive You got to be the freedom.
The freedom.
It gotta
Okay, it
be
is the freedom. Okay.
It's the freedom you have. Yes. I get to live a life more comfortably, knowing that everything I need, I have. You know, even I don't have millions. I'm not in a place to where I'm financially free yet, but it's to where I have so many opportunities to where I can work those opportunities, leverage them to provide more income for myself.
You're a
So
manifester.
I am.
I can tell. Like,
you can tell how
everything that you speak is, I can just see the future for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I've been working on it. What you see now is definitely not the person I was 3 years ago. Business Besties is
thank God. You shouldn't be the same person that you were 3 years ago.
Definitely shouldn't, but it's a drastic difference.
Yeah.
So anyone who has, you know, like I said, dyslexia, anyone who was in a one-parent household, and even that one-parent household, my mother had to work a lot, so she wasn't even there. So that makes it to where there's a lot of time with me and my sister, and we're raising ourselves, and we're having to pour into ourselves.
You are a public speaker as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a dream of doing a TED Talk? And if so, what would you do your TED Talk on?
I never had a dream about it.
Because I feel like you could do a TED Talk.
I would love to.
Like now even.
I would love to.
What would your topic be if you were doing a TED Talk?
The first thing I thought of was importance of community. Even though I think people are starting to catch on now, it's not enough of us.
No, it's not.
That really see value in other people. We think fumbling a bag is money. You can fumble good people. So importance of community was the first thing that came to mind. But then as I start to think, there's a lot of different things. Really leveraging a nonprofit. You know, everyone be like, you did a nonprofit, that's a lot of work, But there's ways you can leverage a nonprofit with your business that gives you tax breaks, that really, with what my community does, I qualify for millions in grants. Do you know Rolex is paired with a nonprofit?
No.
So Rolex being paired with a nonprofit makes it to where their cheapest product is about $3,500.
Okay.
You know, and
that's like a starter watch for
Rolex. Right. So being a nonprofit, the NAACP, these are, you know, organizations that leverage the tax breaks of a nonprofit. So when I found that out, and really everything that I was already doing as just a local community, realizing what I was missing out on, the money I was leaving out on the table, instead of funding my nonprofit or funding my community off my own pockets, because it wasn't a nonprofit at that time, makes it to where now I can get grants, take donations, sponsorships, and, you know, like, get the support of the people who have a similar mission, just not so much the time and energy to put forth. So yeah, those would be two for sure.
You have a group called Laptop Link Up. What's that about?
So Laptop Link Up is a co-working opportunity in the community. So I do a link up brainstorming session every Tuesday at different locations around the city, different times, to give the majority, you know, a chance to come out. So all around the city, I love to go to small businesses, the ones that not everyone knows about yet, and help bring in an audience to them. So while we're there, pick a topic, check in on everybody. How's business going? How can we support you? Those are always my go-tos. You know, let's network, figure out a way we can support each other, start that engagement train. That way when we see our names come up on social media, it's an automatic, let me like, share, comment. So with Laptop Link Up every week, we're able to offer the opportunity for new members to come out, get familiar of the community, get some insights. You know, if they're starting business, it helps to learn more about marketing or how to brand the business. And as a collective, us being in different areas of business, it's always a powerhouse at the end of it, because we end up leaving with so much value.
That's great. What a good idea. You are a community builder.
I definitely am. Yeah. I definitely am. I've always been a girl's girl, so it really breaks my heart when I'm treated poorly by other women, or I see other women treat each other poorly. It really just breaks my heart because I know how valuable we all are. And that's why I say psychology is so important, because it's I feel like I was always condemned because I wasn't as book savvy as other people, but I knew I had other gifts. And that's with all of us. If you're terrible at math, you could be a great architect, right? And it doesn't make you stupid. It means your talents are just positioned different.
Yes.
So if we all just take our talents and our strengths and build on top of that, instead of trying to nitpick, oh, you're not good there, you're not good there, who cares? Let's focus on what we do have to work with, those strengths, build them up, share, and it becomes so valuable.
I met you at Successes with Art Science.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about Successes, and also shout out Successes?
Yeah, because we were just there Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Art, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for him. I don't think he understands how valuable he is. I don't think he knows really the impact that he's creating. And I'm sure he knows he's being impactful, otherwise why would he do it?
Yeah, he's killing it.
But he's way too chill, and like I don't think he really understands that what he's doing is really changing the game. It's really changing the game.
It absolutely is.
Yes, and I love how he's doing it, because the similarities of our community, his is just open. You know, it's open to everyone, whether you're in the music industry, entrepreneurship. It really doesn't matter. It's just all about community and everyone supporting each other. So that's just next level. I kept my box to focusing on women in business, which is great. I love it. But Art being able to organize successes how he does, and really his mindfulness of everyone in the community, like he can check in with you and know, how was your kids? I remember you saying you had a doctor's appointment. He's that guy. So I love what he's doing with Successes.
Me too.
And I can't wait for it to really blow up and take off.
It's going to too.
It is. It's Successes.
I've gained so much from it. Like, I've met so many great people and reconnected with some old friends.
Right.
And just it pushes you to go for your dreams. It really does. I'm so glad they created it.
Community is just so important. It's so important, and I feel like a lot of us have been burned and disappointed so many times that we shy away from showing up for people because we feel like they're not going to show up for us, and or we wait for other people to show up for us in a way in order for us to reciprocate that. And I feel like it's just love. When you were in community, you just give love, and even if it's not directly from the person you gave that love to, it's reciprocated through the energy. So yeah. Community. Once as a nation we get that understanding. I say as a nation because we're going through a political debate as well.
Yeah.
Once we understand that, it's not so much about the individual needs, but the needs of the majority, the needs of the collective. Like we have people suffering, and we're worried about saving on certain tax dollars. It's people losing their lives, or really just don't have the accessibility to what others have. And it's not fair. As a nation, we should be all equal. We're all human beings at the end of the day. We all want love. So community.
I love it. What would you say to someone that's trying to follow your path right now?
Someone looking to mentor women in business. One, know your purpose. Know your purpose so you aren't dragged in with the worries and trials and tribulations of others. You have to stay focused to where you're able to produce in a way that is not going to be a tug of war with your heart. You want to take care of your mental health. For me, it was working with so many different women, women who are more established in business than me, working with women who are battling mental health. It makes it to where it can, me being an empath, it really weighs on my heart. So I had to get therapy. In order to have time to really focus on me, because a lot of my energy went to pouring into everyone around me. And when you're building people up who are desperately, in a position to grow, it makes it to where you are, at the end of the day, the source for a lot of people. So when I said mentors need mentors,
yes,
you need something that's specifically dedicated to you. So
yes,
have hobbies, focus on your mental health, get therapy.
absolutely.
Mm-mm.
If you were on a desert island, what 5 albums or songs would you want to bring with you?
That is so hard.
Okay.
I can't say albums, I can say songs.
Let's say 5 songs. And if you can't name only 5, you can name more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love music. This is like asking me what my favorite movie is.
Well, just give us a bunch then, like if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't
so
have to
this
say
is
only
gonna
5.
have to be at the top of my head. I'm not gonna think too hard.
Yeah, off the top.
Off the top of my head. Easy. I need Boosie's "Wipe Me Down." I need Sade. Sade, "Love Is King." Tony Braxton. Just Be a Man About It. Aaliyah's "I Care For You," and 2 Chainz birthday song.
Okay. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so hard. You don't know how bad that has my heart racing, because I'm like, I love music and my playlist is so diverse.
Do you want to give us 5 more?
5 more?
Hey, how about this? Instead of telling us 5 songs, tell me 5 artists you really love.
5 artists.
That's a little easier.
My top 5 artists: Boosie, Webby,
INDEENDEENT.
Tony Braxton.
Do you know what that means?
Right. Tony Braxton. I'm going.
Dos más.
2 artists. This is crazy. This is crazy. Who would I put on? I gotta check my playlist.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll tell you. All right, here. Boom. Go to my playlist.
Yeah.
Okay, who we got? Oh, Eric Bellinger. I love me some Eric Bellinger.
Okay, there's 4.
Okay. Oh, Kevin Gates.
Kevin
Gates is one of my all-time favorites. What's another one? Let me find a female. Where are my ladies? My ladies, I want to say Bia and Lola Brooks right now.
Okay, those are your 2 current ones. How about like an all-time woman artist favorite?
Foxy Brown.
Oh, I
love Foxy.
Oh, Fox is so good.
Yeah,
she's so
Foxy
great.
Brown is one of my favorites.
She's great.
Yeah. I love her.
I was in college when I was in high school and then college when she got big. And what's that song? Man, the Hotspot. Fuck, I think it's Hotspot. That was huge in college. And then, Ain't No with Jay-Z, that was, I actually bought the single of Dead Presidents, and I think that was on that same cassette single that I bought.
So you've always been a hip-hop lover.
Oh, yeah, I'm a hip-hop head. Yeah, I started rapping when I was 6.
Really?
I got a mic on my arm.
Yeah, who inspired that?
Run DMC and the Beastie Boys.
Wow.
Run DMC and the Beastie Boys is when I got into music.
Wow.
I mean, into rap. I was already.
You're giving your age away, man.
I don't care. Look at this. I'm 45. It's all good. No worries. Are there any questions that you wished I'd asked you?
You hit it. You asked great questions, and I love how you were diverse and all covered all the bases with your questions. So you did good, man. I'm super proud.
Nothing you need?
I didn't know what to expect from today. I'm just trusting you. So I was like, okay.
I'm glad you trust me.
You came prepared. Did it work out? You came prepared. I feel like you did great. Knowing about the book club, you got major cool points for that. Not that many people know I run a book club as well.
I did my research. So where can we find you online?
The Bizness Besties Facebook group is Bizness Besties LV, Bizness Besties PDX for the Portland chapter. On Instagram, it's Biz Besties LV or LA or PDX. Bizness Besties USVI for the Virgin Islands chapter. Yes.
Okay.
And my personal, I'm MissPromise for my personal page. I am the Boss Builder for my business page. Yeah. All
right. Well, we appreciate you. This is our 3rd episode of Bizness N Edutainment with FreezRokSki. And
it's my 3rd year anniversary for Bizness Besties as well.
Oh, no way!
And we caught the 333 earlier.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, you looked at your phone. It was
333. Man,
this is the 3rd Bizness Besties. Yeah,
it's our 3rd year. My anniversary is in September.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
That's amazing.
These 3s were powerful.
That's great. So. Well, promise I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye, y'all.
Peace.